Hi friends, Amber here. I'm going to read you a couple pages of my book, Fractured. For most of my life, I never knew what love was. For all of my childhood and most of my adult life, I truly did not understand what love meant. Witnessing the actions of my adult authority figures from childhood made me so confused. Children learn from their parents, caregivers, and adult figures. They have nothing else to go by other than what they are taught and see during childhood. What happens when they are taught the wrong way? Unfortunately, we grow up believing the wrong things. We grow up confused, not truly understanding what love is supposed to be. We grow up thinking the way we were raised is the way everyone is supposed to be. I don't know why I struggle with this, and I apologize. Sadly, this happens more often than not. What happens when you grow up confused? You become a confused adult, always trying to make sense in your mind. You grow up with a void inside of you that will never be filled, no matter what you use to try to fill it. That is, until you find the correct item that was meant to fill that void. This is my story and how I found the correct void-filling item, Jesus Christ. I grew up in an abusive family. My immediate family consisted of my father, my mother, my sister, and I. I was the oldest child, the first child, grandchild, great-grandchild, and niece in the family. I was the lucky first of everything. That meant I had no older siblings to help me understand or learn from. I was the first, the oldest, and on my own. My parents were devoted Christians. They attended church, taught classes and youth groups, and lived the perfect Christian life. Everyone loved my parents. Everyone thought they were the perfect couple. Everyone thought they were the perfect parents. Everyone thought they were the perfect youth group leaders. Everyone thought they were perfect Christians. Everyone just always seemed to think that they were perfect. But, as with most perfect things, the truth will always be revealed. My mother experienced trauma as a child, and that affected her from properly parenting myself and my sister. In fact, that affected her from properly living life. She spent most of her time in bed, sick, or escaping the world. While my mother was tucked away in her room, the two of us were left fending for ourselves. Being the oldest, I was left responsible for helping raise my little sister. Luckily, our father worked, but when he was home, he was mean and mad at the world. I learned early on to do whatever I could to ensure that my little sister was safe. That meant he took it all out on me. I was expected to do everything in my mother's absence. Cook, clean, take care of my sister, get us to and from school on time, complete homework, cook dinner, clean up, and do all of the laundry. If I did not complete the required items, I was beaten. I learned early on not to ask anyone to help me with the tasks because if they did not do them correctly, I was beaten. I also learned early on not to complain or tell anyone because the beating from that was even worse. We moved around a lot and I never could keep friends anyway. I suspect now that was part of his plan. If we moved, we could not establish relationships to feel comfortable enough to tell anyone. I was a child learning. I learned to adapt to my life. I did the best that I could to complete all of the household tasks and raise and protect my sister. But I was beaten a lot. In fact, I do not remember a day that I was not beaten. It became part of my normal life. I learned to live through the pain. I learned to be strong and do everything myself to avoid more pain. I learned to not trust anyone. I learned to build walls in order to keep surviving. I learned to run from the truth, constantly daydreaming. If I ran from it, it could not hurt. If I ran from the truth, I could pretend that everything was okay. If I ran, I could pretend that I was in control. I desperately wanted to be in control of my out of control life. So that's just a couple, the beginning pages of my book, Fractured. And I just thought I would read you a couple pages and see what you thought. If you'd like me to read more, please let me know and I'd be happy to do so. But also, if you'd like to continue to read and want to hear my whole story, then you're more than welcome to check it out. It's Fractured and it's on Amazon.com. I'd love for you to read it. I really hope and pray that me telling my story will help one of you. So just know you're not alone and you are loved. You are chosen. You are worthy. And I'm here if you need me. So until next time.